Welcome back, fellow milk drinkers, to yet another Monday Milk Review. My name is Jacob, and today we're joined by Amber. She's probably going to just stay up there for the entire recording. Now, I'm sure you've seen by the title of this video, we're going to be looking at something a little bit out of my field, a mocha. I don't usually do iced coffees because personally, I don't consider myself to be much of a coffee snob, and I don't think I have the correct palate to judge caffeine. I just don't think it's really my area of expertise. However, I am going to try this one because I actually quite like mochas. It's the closest thing to, I guess, a flavored milk from a coffee. My usual go-to is actually the caramel latte from Norco. I find it really tasty. Some of you may have seen from my Instagram story, I've recently been offered the opportunity to do a second sponsorship with Nippies. I have the box already and I'm planning to film as soon as I can, but I've just had my birthday weekend and I wanted to take some time off and just play some games. I'm 26, can you believe it? You calling me a liar? That video will be coming as soon as I can get it done. I need the right time to do filming, and time is not something I have plenty of. I saw a comment on one of my last videos about how much milk I drink. You might be surprised that I actually limit myself to maybe 1 or 2 a week. I don't drink these things every day because I know it's not good for you, and that is a message that goes out to everyone. Always make sure that you have these in moderation. These are not an everyday drink. If I was going to have one, I wanted to be having the best, and this series is to help people find the best, because if you're going to have one, you may as well really love it. So let's get to opening this up. Nescafe also has, I think, a flat white variant in a can as well. Originally, that was a very Asian market thing to do, and you didn't see that in the Australian market at all. But now we're starting to see a lot more milks come in cans. I really like this kind of, I guess you might want to say, ombre look of the black fading into the purple. It looks quite nice in my opinion, which cannot be said for any of the oak Nutri-Grain flavors. Those things are terrible in design. I hate them. Let's crack it open right now. Why? Well, as you may have seen, I never expect these from the cans, but the cans often do it. Cans for some reason get pressurized. If you're gonna shake them up, make sure you give them like 5 minutes to rest. I didn't do that this time and I pay for it yet again. This seemingly happens to me all the time. I've already got a pretty good smell of what it smells like as it's on my hand right now, and it smells really nice. We've got a really nice rich chocolate flavor as well as the coffee undertone. It's actually quite nicely balanced. It smells really nice so far. I probably ought to wash my hands first. Back to the milk. As you may be able to see on top of the can, there's a lot of liquid on top, so I'm just going to open this real carefully as we get into the pour. And here we go. Straight away, I'm going to say that's a really nice thick looking liquid. Something which you come to expect from a lot of these canned drinks is a really milky, semi-transparent appearance, which usually is the indication of high water content. This is quite thick, so I'm seeing what would probably be a lot of milk, which you love to see. Smelling from the glass, the chocolate is a little bit more moderate now that it's in the glass, and it's a much more subtle coffee smell. The chocolate undertones are definitely there, but it's got a really solid smell. Let's get into that flavor. First up, viscosity. Perfect. Absolutely nothing wrong with that viscosity. The coffee is subtle but strong. It's not really yelling at you, and the chocolate doesn't really yell at you either. You're not getting drowned out by sweetness. This is a really middle ground leaning towards bitter mocha. Some people won't like that. I typically don't actually lean towards those types of drinks, but I'm actually finding myself really liking this, and I'm quite blown away by its quality. This is, I feel like, Nescafe's first entry into the sealed goods market in this sort of way, and they've smashed it out of the park. This is really good. I do want to highlight, this is not a sweet mocha. This is leaning towards bitter. So if you are sick of the flavored milk styles of mocha, this is maybe something that you might want to give a go. I can really see some people enjoying this, and maybe even the flat white version too. I myself am not going to judge the flat white version, but if you like coffee, this may be a really particularly good option for a on-the-go chilled coffee. Yeah, I like that. That's really nice. I don't know if it's going to replace caramel latte from Norco. I am one of those people who prefer to lean sweet with my caffeinated drinks, although I can't drink energy drinks at all. I hate energy drinks, they're way too much for me. But if I was wanting something which was leaning more bitter and I wasn't in a sugary mood, this would be my go-to. Absolutely. It's also so available, which is why I would put a lot of recommendation to it, because this is always going to be in the cold aisles of your Woolworths. That's where I picked mine up, and I think they're in Coles too. Don't quote me on that, I can't always know. Every store varies, especially state to state. Overall, I think I'm going to have to give it a 9 out of 10. I can't really think of any strong criticism other than it leans a little bit more bitter than I prefer. If you prefer this, that could be a 10 out of 10 for you. I would highly recommend trying it if you like cold mochas. That about wraps us up for this week's episode of the Monday Milk Review. Thank you very much for watching. Please, if you want to support me, like and maybe even consider subscribing. Thank you once again, and I'll see you next week in the Monday Milk Review. Bye bye!